Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to opening day 1987. The date was April the 6th. We are north of the border in Toronto, Canada. We are at Exhibition Stadium for the season opener against the Cleveland Indians, Toronto Blue Jays, and the Cleveland Indians. As you know, lately I've gone to just doing the benches and bullpens, but for opening day, I decided to go ahead and bring out the entire spiel. So we have the whole starting lineups, benches, and bullpens for both teams. Starting pitchers for today's game: Tom Candiotti, the knuckleballer for Cleveland. He is 7-18 with a 4.78 ERA. Jimmy Key, 17-8 with a 2.76 ERA. So on paper, it looks like Toronto should win this game pretty easily. In real world, they won the game 7-3. So since it's opening day, we will go through a little bit of pomp and circumstance. And we will have the national anthems. In fact, both national anthems before we start the ball game. All right, everyone. That's about as much pomp and circumstance as I am allowed to have with my cheap equipment. Tabby even got up and was doing her paying tribute to both countries. She's still crawling around down here trying to get under my feet, so I'm going to try to get this thing going without any feline delays if possible, but it may be hard. We'll see if I can get her to lay down. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Ballpark effects, I'll show them down here. I wrote them at the bottom. Singles are 1 to 9 for lefties and righties. Home runs are 1 to 11 for lefties and righties. Pitcher catcher hold quotient, +3 for Tom Candiotti. He is a +2, and Bando's a +1 for the net +3. For the Jays, Jimmy Key is a -6, and Ernie Witt's a 0, but -5 is the highest you can go, or lowest you can go, however you want to look at it. So Jimmy Key is a -5. So Indians obviously going to have a little bit more trouble trying to get the steals, but these fast Jays runners will have a +3 effect, and that's certainly Hey, John, the 1973 is strictly on the game of the week on Saturday. This 87 one is every single game. Not every game will be on video. Every opening day game will be on video, but not every game. I'm going to pick a game of the day. I'm going to play the other games offline, cards and dice, no simming. And I'll have the score sheets from that day all filled out and completed with the games that are finished. And then the last game of the day will be the day I do video. I just haven't decided if it's going to be live or recorded or maybe a mixture thereof. All right. Let's see how we're doing with what I've got here on screen. Might be able to move this over just a bit. Got the lamplight on. It does give that little orange hue, but hopefully it's not anything that's terrible. Let me see. If I turn it off, it might actually do better, though. So let's try it without the lamp. Maybe that will be better without the lamp. We shall see. Very possible that it could be. So what I'm going to do here, before we get going, I was going to do it until Tabby disturbed me, but we'll do a little bit of surgery here on my printout, and we will get going in just a second. Okay, so Cleveland, that is their bench and bullpen for Cleveland. And we'll do the same for Toronto, and hopefully that'll give me more room as we get going. I can hope. Let's see if it does or not. Blue Jays are there, and they are there. So might not show up all the way, but close enough for government work, as they say. Tabby is quiet finally, so yes, I did, RJL. I certainly did. I have some fringe players right here. There's Tom Waddell from the Indians. I printed him off. And also from the Indians, Ernie Macho Camacho. So a couple computer pictures that are not carded I have ready at the go. That's the same for all teams. So, but I only printed off the guys that were on the opening day roster. I'm going to print off the other guys as I get to them and as I need them. So that's just too much to print at one time. So I figured that's the best way to do it. So now let me see if I can get everything going as best I can to make everything show up where you can see it. Let's go lower this just a hair so you can see the box score or the line score. Still see Sharperson, I think. So I think we're good to go. I think that's the best I'm going to do, folks. So hopefully it's good enough. Let me do a focus check. Bring Jimmy Key in there and see how you can see his card. We'll do the little focus thing. So 87 had the interesting thing on the basic side. It was a blue background like an infield, and the font is a little bit different on the advanced side as well. The cards don't have the wild pitch and balk ratings, but the computer does. So if I call for it, I will have it. And actually, since I've got the computer up, I usually score the games as I'm playing it, but that's kind of hard to do when I'm doing the live stream. So I'm just going to bring up the computer temporarily to get those wild pitch and balk ratings for the pitchers, the starting pitchers, just to make sure that I've got everything in place. So for Toronto, Jimmy Key, look at his computerized card. He's got an 8 for a balk and a wild pitch of 6. So his balk is an 8. His wild pitch is 6. And for Candiotti, in Cleveland, Candiotti, he is a 4 for a balk and a 13 for a wild pitch. So like I said, they aren't on the cards, but they've got them on the computer. So, and then once this game is over, I will score it on the computer. so we can have everything ready to roll. I think we're ready to go now. After all the miscellaneous pomp and circumstances, I think we're ready to go. No, I'm not going to change anything on the set. I'm not going to change anything on the computer because I'll lose all the stuff I'm going to have on there. So I'm just going to keep what I got. If they upgrade 87, so be it. But right now, I mean, these are pretty upgraded. I doubt they do that for 87. There's not that much to upgrade. Very few things they need to add on. So I'm going to keep with what I have. All right, so Jimmy Key is on the mound, left-hander. And Tony Bernazard will lead things off for the Indians. So let me make sure. I might need to bring these over just a hair to make sure everything fits. Although when Key is pitching, we're only looking at the blue section on the batters because he's a lefty. So hopefully that's going to show everything. If I get any closer, I'm going to lose the peripheral, so I'm going to have to keep it at that height. All right, so here's Key to Bernazard, and mark it down, September the 2nd, September 2nd, 2024, Labor Day, is the start of this 1987 replay, and it might take 2 years. You never know. It's only the American League, so that's going to help a little bit. But still, it's a lot of games. And we're underway. 4-8. Switch hitter Bernazard on a 4-8 is going to line it to second base. And we are underway officially. Mike Sharperson will grab it, and there's one away. Cleveland lost 100 games in 1987. They were the last place team, so they might have a long season. They had high expectations, but their pitching was horrible. So here's Key to Brett Butler. 6-4 to Butler. That's a 1-9 in home run chance, but he does have weak power against lefties. That's a 19, though, so it would be a triple for Brett Butler. How about that? He starts the season off with a triple. Look at it again, 6-4 lefties. 10-20 is a triple. That's a 19. So Brett Butler will triple just with one out. And here comes Julio Franco. First havoc roll of the game, nothing happening. Infield for the Jays is going to come in. They don't want to give up a cheap run. That's a 6-8 against Franco, and that's a strikeout, a huge strikeout for Jimmy Key as he gets Julio Franco. And now it's up to Joe Carter in a clutch situation. Key to Carter. That's a 6-8, and that's the same roll we just had, another strikeout. Every roll, all four rolls came off the pitcher card, and Cleveland walks away empty-handed. How about that? No runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. And after the one-out triple, they cannot cash in. So we go to the bottom of the first. Cleveland, nothing. And Toronto coming to bat. And the knuckleballer, Tom Cotton Candiotti, on the mound against Tony Fernandez, switch hitter at shortstop. Tony Fernandez. Yeah, John, the only thing I don't like about this replay is it has a DH. That's the only thing that kind of gave me a little bit of a... because I was torn between doing the American League 87 or the National League 77. But I decided to do the American League 87 because I'm just more familiar with 87. I'm very familiar with 77, but I mean, I lived 87, so as an adult, where I was just a kid in 77. So, all right, Candiotti knuckles it in there, 2-10 to Fernandez. That's a ballpark single check. It's 1-9, but that's a 20. So Fernandez will line it to second, and that's one away. Tony Fernandez is out of there. Here's Rance Mullenix, third baseman. 2-9, and that's going to be a 1-18 single. So the first four at-bats for Cleveland came off Key's card. The first two at-bats for Toronto come off Toronto cards, not Candiotti. Mullenix, not much of a threat to steal. He will not be held. And that'll bring up Lloyd Mosby, the center fielder. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Infield looking to turn two. Candiotti 2-6 to the lefty. Mosby again off the batter card. It's a strikeout. So two down as Mosby whiffs. And that'll bring up George Taco Bell. Chance to do some serious damage. He is a power threat. Candiotti 1-5. And there you go. Right off the bat. Right on cue. 1-5 is a home run. Clean as a baby's butt. Right there. No D20 to reference here. Solid 1-5 home run, George Bell. There you go, 1-5 against the right-hander. There is no doubt about it. George Bell goes deep on the 1-5. And it's a 2-run home run. And the Jays take a 2-0 lead here in the first. George Bell, a Burrito Supreme. 2-run shot. Knuckleball didn't knuckle. And it's 2-0. Toronto. Could be a long day and a long season for the Indians. Here's Candiotti to Barfield. 2-8, and that's a strikeout. And all 5 at-bats, if I remember correctly, came off the batter card. So that's the one downfall of the 50-50 model, but you hope it averages out over time. For the Jays, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 1, it's 2-0 Toronto as we are underway here in 1987. Jimmy Key back out, and he'll be facing designated hitter, big old Andre Thornton. Definitely designated hitter material. Can't really play the field. In fact, he has not even rated to play the field. He just DH'd the whole time. Key, 4-7 again off Key's card. That's a ground ball shortstop X. We got our very first fielding chance of the season. Tony Fernandez is a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. We're just checking an error. And his error rating is 17. A shortstop error rating of 17. He needs to avoid 15, 16, and 17. Very simple. Avoid 15, 16, and 17, and you make the play. And he did. It's 10. Very easy play for Tony Fernandez. Throws out Thornton. 1 away. For third baseman, Brooke Jacoby. 6-9 again off Key's card is a walk. So Jacoby draws the 1-out free pass. He will not be held. He does not run well at all. And that'll bring up first baseman Pat Tabler. Key to Tabler. And Cleveland has not had a result come off their batter card yet. It's been all Key. And it stays that way. 6-6. 1-5 is a double. That's a 19. It's a single, 2 stars. And that'll put runners at the corners. So back come the Tribe. Tabler will not be held. Corey Snyder, right fielder, is up. Runners at the corners and 1 out. Indians looking to try to cut into that lead. The Blue Jays are going to play back for the double play. Try to turn 2 and get out of the inning. 5-11 again off the pitcher card. 5-11 is a ballpark single check, 1-9, but that's a 10. So he lines it to short for out number 2. Just missing a base hit that would have put the Indians on the board, but now 2 outs and Chris Bando in a clutch situation with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Switch hitting catcher Chris Bando has to try to do something for the Tribe. Again off the pitcher card, 6-8, and it's again a strikeout. So Jimmy Key, all 9 at bats that the Indians had came off Jimmy Key's card. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but we see it here. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We'll go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Jays. And 50-50 anti-pundits are saying this is Exhibit A. But, you know, hey, hopefully it evens out especially over the course of a season, much less a game. But it can happen. You never know. Let me make sure that when I put that chart in there, it didn't mess up any focus. Let me just double check it here. Okay, as good as I can get. My cheap equipment. All right, here is Willie Upshaw against Candiotti. First baseman Willie Upshaw. 2-6, and it's a ground ball to first. And Pat Tabler will take it to the bag himself. Out number 1. Here's Ernie Witt, the catcher. That's a 5-5. I think it's the first result off Candiotti's card. 5-5 is a 1-2 triple, 3-20 single. It's a 4. So Ernie Witt will single. I don't know if he could triple or not. He had 1 triple in real world, but he gets a single out of this. And here comes a young guy that may not make it very far in this league, but he's going to try it. That's Fred McGriff. Don't know if he's going to stick. McGriff facing Candiotti. The knuckleball might befuddle him. 6-10, left-handed. Ground ball third base X. That's Brooke Jacoby. He's a 4E25, so could have trouble getting to this. On a 4. And let's see, runner on first, Witt not being held. So on a 4, he needs a 7 or higher to make this play. It's a 6. It's going to get through for a base hit. SI1, 1-star advancement. Now checking for error. E25. It's got to avoid 6, 8, 13, 15, and 17. And that's a 12, so no error, but it will be a single 1-star, 1-base advancement. Fred McGriff opens the season with a base hit. Slow running Ernie Witt stops at second. Runners at first and second with 1 out for Mike Sharperson, second baseman. And Candiotti in trouble again. Looking for the double play ball if he can get it. 3-11 for Sharperson is a ground ball shortstop, but it's B, fielder's choice. So they will get McGriff at second on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Witt will take third. Runners are at the corners, 2 down. Clutch situation for Tony Fernandez. He lined out to second his first time up. That's a 1. So Candiotti, his wild pitch rating is a 13. So 1 to 13, and he's going to took one to the backstop, and Ernie Witt will score. And he does. It's a wild pitch that's going to score Ernie Witt from third base, and Sharperson will take second. So Chris Bando unable to handle the knuckleball, and it gets by him. And now runner at second, 2 down for Tony Fernandez. 5-7, switch hitter, ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Bernazard. He's a 4E22. Their fielding is not very good, obviously. Runner not being held at second, so it's a 4. So again, needs a 7 or higher. And they do get it this time. A 10 is a G3, which is good enough to get to it. E22, he's got to avoid 12, 17, and 18. And he does. So Sharperson makes the play to end the inning. But the wild pitch brings home a run, and at the end of 2, it is Toronto 3 and Cleveland nothing. And no surprises so far. About going as expected. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. So we go to the third. 3-0 Jays. They've given Jimmy Key a 3-0 lead to work with. And it'll be the top of the order, Tony Bernazard for the Tribe. And if I remember correctly, they have not had a result off their own card yet. I think everything's been off Jimmy Key's card. But they're looking to change that. But not this time. 6-7, switcher to batting right-handed. 6-7 is a 1-4 single. 5-20 is a line out. That's a 3. So it'll be a base hit for Bernazard. He's aboard, but with that -5 staring him in the face and down 3-0, he's not going to try for any leads. They will have to hold him, but he will not try for any kind of leads. Here's Butler. Butler tripled his first time up. Whoop, the blue die, one of the blue dies didn't go through. It stuck to my hand for some reason. Let's try it again. 4-10, again off Key's card. 4-10 is a ballpark single check. That's a 1. It will be a base hit. It's only a 1-base advancement. So runners at first and second now. And the tying run, Julio Franco, is at the plate. Indians can score some runs. They just can't keep other people from scoring. And it's nicer weather here today, so I do have windows open. So if you hear traffic going by, that's what the noises are all about. Trying to get that fresh air in here. After being shut in the air conditioner all that time, we enjoy the fresher, cooler air. Oh, Suadice. Let's re-roll that for Franco. 2-2, finally off the batter card. 2-2 is a fly ball center field. And that's 1 away. 1 down. And that brings up Joe Carter. Carter struck out his first chance. Key, 6-9, and that's a walk. So now the bases are full of Indians. And now here comes big Andre Thornton, the designated hitter. Infield is back for the double play. Trying to turn 2 and get out of it. Jimmy Key. 2-8, left-handed for Thornton is a strikeout. That's a big strikeout there. 2 down. And now it's up to Brooke Jacoby, or the Indians will leave more runners in scoring position. They left a runner at third every inning so far without cashing in. Key, 3-4 for Jacoby is a ballpark single check again, but that's an 18. So he will line it to short, and that's going to end the inning, and the Tribe will leave them loaded. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left. They left 6 runners on base in 3 innings, have Cleveland. And 4 of those have been in scoring position, so 4 out of the 6. So they are not producing in the clutch when they need to. They trail it 3-0. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Candiotti back out. We'll be facing Mullenix, Mosby, and Bell for the Jays. Hope everybody's enjoying their Labor Day. Hope you enjoyed your college football yesterday. And Saturday, I should say. 6-6. 6-6 against the lefty, Candiotti. 1-14 is a single. That's a 10. It'll be a leadoff single for Mullenix. He is 2 for 2, but no threat to run. And here comes Lloyd Mosby. He struck out his first chance. Havoc roll. Nothing happening. Candiotti. 3-5 from Mosby. That's a 1 for a triple. Anything else is a single. So that's a single, 2 stars. And here come the Jays again. And Mosby's a threat to run. In advance, he's a AA. In super advanced, if he gets the lead, it's a 19. He needs a lead of 2 through 5 to get the lead. So he's going to try to get the lead. He does not get the lead. So he will hold. And that'll bring up George Bell, who hit that big 2-run homer his first time up. Dire straits for the Indians. They're back for the double play. They need outs. 3-6, and that is a strikeout. It's a huge out for Candiotti as he strikes out George Bell. And now a double play would get him out of the inning. And it's Jesse Barfield. Barfield is up. He struck out his first chance. That's a 5-3 on Candiotti. Fly ball right field X. That is Corey Snyder. He's a 2-11. So our first outfield X chance of the season, and he is a 2-11. In the outfield, oops, wrong chart. Get the right chart here. Still in opening day form. He's a 2, so he needs to keep the score, to keep the run on third from scoring, he needs a 16 or higher, but at least to make the play, he needs a 4 or higher. That's an 18, which is going to be an F3, so it will not be deep enough to score the run. F3 is not going to cut it. In F3, the runners have to hold. Now let's see if he makes an error. He is an E11, though, so that's high for an outfielder. E11, he's got to avoid 4. He's got to avoid 3, 4, 13, 15, 16, and 18. So anything in the middle is probably pretty good. That is a 7. That's good. So Corey Snyder makes the play in right field, and it's not deep enough to score the run. It's a fly ball F3, so runner cannot score. Keeps things where they are for Willie Upshaw. Clutch situation for Upshaw. Candiotti trying to get out of the mess. 2 is a chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a chance of a balk. So Candiotti, while pitched in a run last inning, could he balk in a run this inning? It's a 1-4 balk rating. A 1-4, and he balks a run in. 13, he does not balk the run in, so Upshaw's got to earn it. Candiotti to Upshaw. 5-6 left-handed. 1 is a double, but anything else is a fly to right. That's going to be a fly to right, and Candiotti gets out of the mess. Houdini work there. First and third, nobody out, and he gets out of it unscathed. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 3, it's Toronto 3 and Cleveland nothing. And Tabby is back over here doing something, so try to keep her at bay. Coming up for the Indians will be Pat Tabler. Next video will be the second game of the season. It will be Texas at Baltimore. And that'll be Charlie Huff, another knuckleballer for the Rangers, against Mike Boddicker for the Orioles. Not sure what day that'll be done, but it'll be the next, it'll be a recorded video, and I'm not sure when I'm going to post it, but whenever I play it and get it ready, I'll post it. All right, here's Jimmy Key to Tabler. 6'9", right-handed, is a walk. So Tabler, leadoff walk. He will not go anywhere. Brings up Corey Snyder. Snyder with a chance to try to get something going. 6-7, and that's a 1-4 single, but that's a 15, so he lines it to short. Second time he's lined to short for out number 1. Here's Chris Bando, the catcher. Struck out his first chance. Switch hitting catcher. 1-6 to the lefty. He's going to pop it up to short. That's 2 down. And now we're back to the top of the order in Bernazard. He's 1 for 2. Key to Bernazard. 1-7, and that's a walk. So that's going to keep the inning going, put runners at first and second with 2 outs. Clutch situation for Brett Butler. He is tripled and singled, 2 for 2. Hello, Alan. How you doing? Yeah, the Brewers will come up probably about game 3. I think they're the third game on opening day after Baltimore and Texas. I think Boston, Milwaukee is the third game I'm going to do. So Jimmy Key, clutch situation facing Brett Butler, who was singled and tripled. 1-7 against the left-hander is a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So once again, Cleveland has another runner. They've had a runner at third base every inning, but have not scored. They have been the kings of leaving runners on base, and now we got Julio Franco up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Clutch situation for Franco. And if you look at his card, he loses a lot of hits in clutch right here in column 1. He's going to lose 3 singles. So he was definitely anti-clutch, and he loses a single over here as well. So he is definitely anti-clutch, is Julio Franco. That is a, well, what do I do with that? That 2, it looks like a 2, but the die is kind of horizontal. It's not, it's kind of leaning. It's a leaner, basically what it is. It looks like it should be a 2. So let me see if I hit the dice straight. Oh, now it went to a 3. So I don't know. Maybe I need to re-roll the whole thing. I'm going to re-roll the whole thing because that just was a tainted roll in my opinion. So we're going to re-roll the whole thing. 4-6 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. I don't like it when they have leaners like that. To me, it's not a legitimate roll, so I'm just going to re-roll the whole thing and rebook it from the beginning. And again, the Indians leave them loaded. They have left 9 runners on base in 4 innings. Unbelievable. 3 walks in, no hits, but they leave 3 on due to 3 walks. Jimmy Key has walked 5 batters already. I thought he usually has better control than that. But he only walked 66 in 261 innings, but he's already walked 5 in this one. Very strange. But that's just the way it's gone here. So, bottom of the 4th we go, and Ernie Witt will step to the plate. Ernie Witt. 1-9 for Witt against a right-hander is a ground ball to second. Bernazard will make the play. 1 down. For Fred McGriff, he singled in his major league debut. I guess it was major league. I think this was maybe it wasn't, but it's his first full year anyway. 4-7, and that's a walk. So Candiotti issues the walk. McGriff not going to go anywhere. They won't even hold him. Here's Sharperson. Candiotti to Sharperson. 4-6, and that's another walk. So now Candiotti can't find the strike zone as he issues the free pass, and now the order flips over to Tony Fernandez, who's 0 for 2, but he's a good hitter, so you figure he's due. First and second, 1 out. 6-10, switch hitter batting left is a ground ball, third base X. That is Corey Snyder. That is Brooke Jacoby. He's a 4E25. This could get by. This could get by. As a 4, he needs a 7 or higher to get to it. That's a 1. It's going to be a single 2 stars, so that's going to score a run. And the E rating is 25. That's a 13. Third base E25. A 13 is right here in the middle of the E1. 25 and a 13, so it's a single plus an error. So McGriff will score, and so will Sharperson, because with an SI2, so Sharperson went to third on the single, then scores on the error. So it's a single plus E5. And the Cleveland fielding coming back to really bite them. And it's now 5-0 Toronto. And Candiotti in trouble. Only 1 out. Fernandez, good base runner, but up 5-0. I think they're going to call the dogs off and just let Mullenix swing away. 5-6, left-handed. One's a double. Anything else is a fly to right. So that's a fly to right for out number 2. Now, Fernandez can take third. As we look at his run rating, which is a 15, right fielder arm. Snyder, though, is a -4. That makes it an 11. Then you add 2, makes it a 13. So 1 to 13, he will make it. 14 to 19, he'll hold. 20, he is out. That's a 5. He's going to get third base. So the fly ball by Mullenix was deep enough to send Fernandez to third base with 2 outs now. And it sends it up to Lloyd Mosby. Candiotti to Mosby, 3-10, and that is a ballpark blast home run, 1 to 11, but that's a 20. So it will just be a deep fly to right, and Candiotti avoids further damage, but damage enough, it's 5-0. 2 runs on just 1 hit, 1 error. And 1 left. So we go to the 5th. 5-0 Toronto. And Jimmy Key enjoying a comfortable lead. He's got a fatigue of 7, so he's still good to go quite a while. He'll be facing Joe Carter, as the Tribe has left 9 on base through 4 innings. They've gotten the hits, but can't get them across. Key, 111 to Carter, left-handed, is a fly ball right field. That's 1 away for Andre Thornton. Bullpen action for the Cleveland Indians. Rich, not yet, is loosening the bullpen. Jimmy Key, 311 to Thornton. 311 is a line out to Sharperson at second base. 2 down. And with the run support, it seems like Jimmy Key has settled in a bit. Here's Brooke Jacoby. 6-6 against the righty. 1 to 5 is a double. That's a 3. It'll be a double for Brooke Jacoby, but it's a 2-out double. And now it's up to Pat Tabler to try to cash in, but they've left runners in scoring position all day long. Tabler on his card has no clutch effects on the against lefties, so you won't lose or gain anything on the clutch. 3-8 against the lefties. A single 2 stars, and they finally cash it in. They finally get a run in. Pat Tabler, the first run batted in for Cleveland on the season with a single 2 stars to bring home Jacoby, cut the lead to 5-1. So they're finally off the Schneid. That's a 2, so a chance of a balk or a pass ball. We're checking the balk rating of Jimmy Key. His balk rating is an 8. No balk, so he will stand pat and face Corey Snyder. 3-6 to the lefty is a 1-8 double. That's a 3. It's another double. Let's see if the run can score. There are 2 outs, and Tabler was not being held. So with 2 outs, he jumps from 11 to a 13. Not being held makes him a 14. The double is assumed to go to center field because it's not listed here, although it said the out would be a fly to left. So to me, that infers that the ball went to left field. I mean, I know they say if it's not included to assume it goes to center field, but to me, if the out underneath it is left field, that infers that the ball went to left field, in my opinion. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's the way I'm going to score it. So the double is to left field, not center field. Left fielder arm is George Bell, who's a -2. -2 for George Bell. So let's look at, again, what we got the runner at first. 11, not being held is a 12. 2 outs is a 14, but a -2 is a 12. So it'll be a 1 to 12 to score him. 60% chance. They're going to go ahead and take that chance because it's a better chance than Bando has of getting a base hit. So 1 to 12, and he will score. And he does. He does score. And Corey Snyder will take third on the throw. So 2 runs are in as the Indians finally cash something in. It's now 5-2 with a runner at third and 2 outs for Chris Bando. 1-8 against the lefty. He's going to line it to first to end the inning, but Cleveland finally gets on the board. They put a 2-spot up here in the 5th on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and it is now 5-2 favor of Toronto. Candiotti back out. Remember, this is 1987, not 2023 or 24, so he can go 7 innings, giving up 5 runs, so he has not hit fatigue yet. But he might this inning. You never can tell. Oh, midlife, I've announced this several different times, yes. So it's American League 1987 playthrough. All right, and this is opening day. First game played in 1987 chronologically was this one. Candiotti to Bell. 5-6, and that's a 1-12 double. That is a 9, so it would be a double for George Bell, and Rich Yett is throwing again more fervently. He may be ready to come in because it looks like Candiotti is struggling. Here's Barfield. Candiotti to Barfield is 0 for 2. 1-9, and that is a 1 double. Anything else is a single. That's a single, 2 stars, and that's going to do it for Candiotti. He is now fatigued, and they will pull him out of the game. Barfield with the single. And actually, with 3 lefties coming up, they're actually going to go to a left-hander out of the pen, not a right-hander. So Rich Yett will have to wait just yet. And they'll go to a left-hander out of the pen. And that left-hander will be Scott Haybales. He does start on the 10th, but this is a 6th, so he's got several days to not worry about pitching. So he's going to only pitch a couple of innings most likely, maybe just get out of the inning if he can. So Scott Haybales, who I didn't even list here, I probably should have listed here, but I didn't. He is actually going to come in relief. So Bales will be on in relief. Doing this on the fly. He's a -4. Brando's a +1, so it's a -3, but it might not matter anymore the way the score is going. But he'll be on to face Willie Upshaw. Can't close the book on Candiotti just yet. He's responsible for Barfield. So Bales will be pitching to Upshaw. Whoa, Suadice. Let's try this again. 3-6, lefty on lefty, 3-6. A 1-6 is a single. That's a 19. He lines to second. 1 away. And against a right-hander, 3-6 would have been a base hit. So wise move to bring in a lefty. Here's Ernie Witt. 6-2 Jays here in the bottom of the 5th. Bales, 2-7. Witt strikes out. So Bales gets the strikeout, and that brings up Fred McGriff, DH. Facing Bales. 3-6, left-handed struck him out. So Scott Bales comes in and deals, and now we can close the book on Mr. Candiotti. He's going to go 4+, and he's going to give up 2, 4, 6, 7, 9 hits, 6 runs, and out of the 6 runs, all of them were earned. He walked 2, and he struck out 1, 2, 3, struck out 3, and he's on the hook for the loss, obviously. So that's going to be it for Bales. They just wanted to get him that inning to get through this mess with the lefties. They'll bring in a righty after this. So Bales is going to go 1 inning, strike out 2, didn't walk anybody. Just a little tune-up for his start on the 10th. He's got 3 days to rest, so he's in good shape. And the Cleveland Indians will go to another guy who will start a lot later in the season, Ken Schramm. So Ken Schramm will be in relief, and he will come in to pitch for the Indians in the bottom of the 6th. Try to give them some innings. Right now, Jimmy Key coming back out. He's going to face the top of the order, Tony Bernazard. It's a 6-2 ball game, rather, here in the top of the 6th. Key 4-4 against the switch hitter batting left. 4-4, switch hitter batting right, rather. 4-4 center field X. Center fielder is Mosby. He's a 1 with an E7. So you know he's going to get to it. We're just checking for the E7. And to avoid an error as an E7 center fielder, 3, 4, 15, 17, and 18. Just got to avoid those. 3, 4, 15, 17, and 18. And he does. 6 makes the play. So a fly out to center field. 1 away. Bernazard is retired. And here's Brett Butler. Tripled, singled, and walked. 4-10 lefty is a ballpark single check. 1-9. That's a 2, so it's another base hit. 3-hit day for Brett Butler. He's doing well. He will hold him, but down 6-2, they're not going to send him. Don't want to take any chances. I believe it was, Joel, because the 86 original set was blue and white. So I think this was the first set they did that for. All right, key to Franco. 2-4 against the lefty is a fly ball to left. 2 away, and it's going to be up to Joe Carter if the Indians want to get a little closer. They're trying to do the Seals and Croft get closer. 4-7 right-handed. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Fernandez. He's a 1. So Butler was being held, but the second baseman was the one responsible, not the shortstop. So he keeps his number 1, which means he will automatically get to it. We're just checking the error. And it's an E17 for a shortstop, so he's got to avoid 15, 16, and 17. That's all he's got to do. And he did that easily. So nice play for Fernandez. Going to end the inning. Cleveland got a hit. Nothing else. Left a runner on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. New pitcher. New pitcher is Ken Schramm. Tabby. Oh, and Tabby's getting into something. Pause in the action. Tabby, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right, she's snooping around a lot of my inside pitch boxes and strat boxes and everything else that's down there. I guess trying to figure out where to sit. I don't know. Got the whole room to sit, so I'm not sure why she's having some issues. But anyway, Ken Schramm is on in the 87 season, 6-13, and he has obviously he did mostly starting, but he does have a relief rating of 3. He does not start anytime soon, so his relief appearances came early in the season, so there we are, and they need somebody to give him some innings. So that's another reason why we have him in there, and now they're facing the right-handers. They have Bales for the lefties, and now we got righties coming up, so they'll use Schramm for the righties. Bottom of the 6th, 6-2 Jays. 4-2 for Schramm, and that is a strikeout on the very first batter that he will face. 1 away for Tony Fernandez. That's a 6-10 switch hitter batting left. Ground ball third base X. Again, that is Jacoby. He's a 4E25, so got to be able to get to this. Needs a high number, and he did. 4-15 is going to be good. 4-15 is a G2, which is good enough. He's an E25, though. He's got to avoid 6, 8, 13, 15, and 17. And he does with an 11, so it's good play for Jacoby. Throwing out Fernandez for out number 2 for Rance Mullenix. 6-8 lefty walk. So Mullenix is on board 3 times in this game. He's not going to be held. And Lloyd Mosby the batter. Mosby 1 for 3. Schramm 1-6, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Schramm gets through it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on the walk. At the end of 6, it is 6-2 Toronto. Toronto won the real world game 7-3. So we're kind of going along that path. You want to be technical. Now Jimmy Key is going to start his fatigue inning. He is number 7 for his fatigue inning. So some reason I listed Ward twice on here. I don't know why I did that. That was kind of silly. QA department wasn't checking that one out very good. Let's see who they want to have. Mark Eichhorn. Foghorn Eichhorn is in the bullpen. And just in case Jimmy Key runs into issues, he will be loosening. Here's Andre Thornton. He's 0 for 3 from the DH spot. Key 1-6 struck him out. Now he's 0 for 4. Not much of a DH. He hit 118 in 85 at bats. Pretty bad. Here's Jacoby. He is 1 for 2. 5-9, and that is a fly ball to right. 2 down for Pat Tabler. Tabler's 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 1-7, and he's going to ground to short. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Key. He finishes in style. I think they will cap him at 7 innings. Since his opening day, you got to stretch him out a little bit. You can't expect him to go a long distance. So Jimmy Key is going to go 7 innings, give up 2 runs. Both were earned. He's going to give up 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. Looks like I got him for 8 hits. He did walk quite a few. He walked 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or did he walk just 4? No, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, walked 5. And he struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Struck out 5. Walked 5, struck out 5. But, of course, he is in line to get the win. And Ken Schramm coming back out for his second inning of work. He'll be facing George Bell, Jesse Barfield, and Willie Upshaw. So Mark Foghorn Eichhorn will be the new pitcher for Toronto. Foghorn Eichhorn, right-hander. He's in the bullpen, loosening for Toronto. 7th inning stretch time. We have made it. So I am going to take a quick stretch break and stand up and see what's going on. Check on Tabby. She seems to be comfortable now. She's sitting on my laptop case and resting. So she's quiet, which is a good thing. So I'm not going to disturb her there. But I will stand up and take a quick stretch break for just a moment. We've been going for 51 minutes, so it's not a bad idea to take a quick stretch break just for a second or two, just to get the old joints going again. And Ken Schramm will be facing George Taco Bell. Bell kind of set the tone for the whole game in the first inning with a 2-run homer, a 2-out 2-run homer off of Candiotti that gave the Blue Jays a 2-0 lead that they have yet to relinquish. So here's Schramm to Bell. 5-6, and that is a fly to right. 1 away. That'll bring up Jesse Barfield. Barfield 1 for 3. 4-10, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-9. That is a 6. It'll be a base hit. Second hit of the game for Barfield. Barfield not being held. Here's Schramm to Upshaw. Upshaw's 0 for 3. 4-4 to a lefty is a fly ball center field X. For the Indians, that's Brett Butler. He's a 2-E5. So Brett Butler, pretty good range with a 2. And as a 2, he will need to make sure he rolls something 4 or higher to make the play. And he does. 15 is an F2. So F2 means that the runner on first will have to hold. Error rating is a 5. So center fielder 5 has got to avoid 4, 16, 17, and 18. And he does. So it's good play for Brett Butler. The Butler did it. He made the play. 2 down. For Ernie Witt. All right, Don Sutton against Maloney tonight from Crosley Field. Don't miss it. Be there, be square, as he likes to say. Dodgers and the Reds, pennant chase 1969. September 22nd game from 1969. And that is at, I think, roughly 7:30 tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Eastern. Schramm, 1-6 is a walk. He walks Ernie Witt. So that puts 2 on with 2 outs for Fred McGriff. McGriff singled, walked, and struck out. 1-6. He's going to strike out again, and that's going to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We played 7 here at Exhibition Stadium, and it is the Blue Jays 6 and the Indians 2. And now we will have the new pitcher, Mark Foghorn Eichhorn, a side-winding right-hander. He'll be on to face Snyder, Bando, and Bernazard. Mark Eichhorn. Not much on the bench for the Indians as far as offensively. They do have Mel Hall. He's pretty decent. Castillo's decent, but not much else going on there. They could pinch hit for Bando, which they probably will with Mel Hall. So that's probably what the move is going to be here in the 8th inning. And they'll bring Rick Dempsey in to catch. So here's Eichhorn to Snyder. The 3-10 for Snyder is a ballpark blast. 3-10 is a ballpark blast right there. And it's 1-11. That's a 6. It is gone. Mark Eichhorn gets greeted by Corey Snyder with a solo shot to cut the lead to 6-3. And now the Indians will call Chris Bando back. And heading up to hit is Mel Hall, 280 hitter. Mel Hall will pinch hit, and then Dempsey will stay in the game to catch. So Mel Hall pinch hitting here in the 8th, and then Dempsey will be the new catcher in the bottom of the 8th. Longtime Oriole. So there is Dempsey. And Bando has been removed. So Dempsey is a 3, a +1, E13, T3. One's at a 10. All right, so he'll be the new catcher. But right now, Mel Hall, the pinch hitter for Chris Bando against Mark Eichhorn. Remember, this is 1987. The relievers do not have to face 3 batters if we don't want them to. So could see a relief pitcher very shortly if Eichhorn can't get it done. He's a +9 hole, by the way. 4-11 against the left-hander is a ground ball first base X. That is Willie Upshaw. Upshaw is a 2-E11. 2-E11 for Upshaw. So on a 2, just has to get a 3 or higher. And he barely does. A 5 is a G3, so he's got to flip to Eichhorn covering. Upshaw error rating is an E11, so he's got to avoid 3, 6, 8, 15, and 18. And he does with a 9, so he gets it, flips to Eichhorn covering 3-1. If you're scoring at home, you know you ought to be. So, especially for opening day. So, 3-1 put out, 1 away, and back to the top of the order for Tony Bernazard. Eichhorn, 5-7, switch hitter batting left. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Fernandez. He's a E17. He's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. Don't need to worry about that. We're checking for an error. As a shortstop, E17, he's got to avoid 15, 16, and 17. And he does. So Tony Bernazard is out via the nice play by Tony Fernandez. 2 down for Brett Butler. He is 3 for 3, 2 singles, a triple, and a walk. 5-6, and he's on again. 1-11 is a double. That's a double for Brett Butler. He's just a home run short of the cycle. He gets a double. And if he comes around and scores, could make things interesting. It's already 6-3. If he comes around and scores, it'll be 6-4. And then the Blue Jays might start panicking a little bit and go to Tom Hinkie early. 1 is a possible wild pitch on Eichhorn. And again, have to go to the Strat computer because these cards don't have... Hello, Ben. These cards don't have the wild pitch and balk ratings for the pitchers. So let me go to Eichhorn, get his card, and get his rating. Eichhorn, where are you? There you are. So Mark Eichhorn, wild pitch is a 5, balk is a 3. So it's a 1-5 for a wild pitch. Nope, no wild pitch. So he will stay where he is, but it's a 5 wild pitch and a 3 balk. That's what his rating is. So no wild pitch, so that means Franco will step in against Eichhorn. Oh, that one hopped. You see that dice just kind of hop over the other one? 4-5. right-handed is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. But Cleveland gets a run. They do it on the home run from Corey Snyder. A run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 our score now. And Ken Schramm has pitched well, so you might as well let him go ahead and finish it out. Facing Sharperson, Fernandez, and Mullenix. Eichhorn's going to go 1 inning. Give up 2 hits and a run. No walks, no strikeouts. And he will exit. And if the score remains 6-3, it is a save situation. They would bring in Tom Hinkie to finish out. If the Blue Jays score, then they'll go to somebody else out of the pen. Schramm to Sharperson. 4-8, and that's a 1-6 double. That is a 6, so Sharperson, his first hit of the season. It's a leadoff double, and that brings up Tony Fernandez. And now the Cleveland bullpen starting to move around again. Let's look and see who they might want to bring in from their pen. They've got, well, their closer is Doug Jones, but I don't think you really want to bring him in necessarily. So, not sure who you want to use in this situation, but let's see if there's anybody else they can go to that's decent. Ed Vandenberg is decent with some lefties coming. So Ed Vandenberg is loosening in the bullpen for the Cleveland Indians. Just in case. Ed Vandenberg, he is loosening in the pen. But right now, Schramm's going to try to get out of it. Facing Fernandez, who is 1 for 4 on the day. 6-9, switch hitter, ground ball second base C, so that'll move the runner to third base, and now the infield's going to have to come in. And with Rance Mullenix, a lefty, coming up to the plate, that's going to be it for Schramm. They're going to go to Ed Vandenberg. So Ed Vandenberg, a lefty, will be coming on to pitch for Cleveland. Schramm is going to go 2 1/3 innings. And he's going to give up 2 hits, no runs, but the runner on third is his responsibility. He walks 2, strikes out 3. So Ed Vandenberg facing Mullenix. And if the Jays were behind, they would probably pinch hit for Mullenix, but with a 3-run lead, they're going to leave him in there. So Mullenix will stay in to hit against the lefty. Ed Vandenberg with the infield in and 1 out. So Ed Vandenberg coming in for the Tribe, trying to get out of this mess. We get a 2-9, and a 2-9 is a single 2 stars. There's an anti-clutch, but there's only 1 out, so the single will hold, and that's a base hit. That run's going to be charged to Schramm, so now he is charged with the run, which was earned. As Sharperson scores, it's now 7-3, and there's no longer a save situation. So that means Hinkie is no longer warming up. They will have somebody else mop up the game for them. Here's Lloyd Mosby, another lefty on lefty. I messed the focus up, sorry. Putting the charts out there or doing something. Here we go. So Lloyd Mosby. Lloyd Mosby against Vandenberg. 4-4, lefty on lefty. Fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Butler. He's a 2-0-5, or 2-E-5 rather. 2 and a 3, that could be problems. 2 and a 3. A 2 and a 3 is an SI2. That's going to drop in for a base hit. He's an E5. E5, and that's a 7. There is no 7, but it is going to be a base hit. Single 2 star is going to move Mullenix to third. So the lefty Vandenberg is not getting the lefty batters out like he is supposed to be doing. Now here's George Bell, but he's got to take one for the team. They're not going to waste any more pitching, I don't think. I don't think they want to do that. So infield is in with 1 out. Vandenberg pitching again. 2 possible balk or pass ball. That's a possible balk on Vandenberg, and we'll check his balk rating. Vandenberg with the balk rating of 0. He's a wild pitch of 14, but a balk of 0, so he cannot balk. So he'll go ahead and pitch to Bell, the infield in. 3-6 to Bell. 1 to 13 is a single. 14 or higher is a line out to short. That's a single 1 star. That will score the run. It's now 8 to 3. Mosby stops at second, and it's starting to get out of hand. Here's Jesse Barfield. They may not be able to stick with Vandenberg much longer. They may have to go to somebody else in the pen just to get out of the inning. Vandenberg to Barfield. 6-4, and that's a catcher X, first catcher X of the season. And the new catcher is Rick Dempsey. He's a 3 E13. 3 and an 11. Let's look at what 3 and 11 brings. On the chart, a 3 and an 11 is a P/F. P/F, and he's an E13. And that's a 9. E13 and a 9 for a catcher. No 9, it's a P/F. P/F says, with runners on, a pitch gets past the catcher for a pass ball, but when using the balk, wild pitch, pass ball rules, refer to the super advanced rules found in the instructions, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're basically looking to see if it's a wild pitch. If the wild pitch rating of Vandenberg is going to allow a pass ball to occur. So Vandenberg's pass ball or wild pitch rating, I believe I said was 14. Okay, so 1 to 14, it will be a pass ball. 15 or higher, he blocks it. It's pass ball any way you go. So pass ball, and the runners will move up a base. Second and third, 1 out, infield in. In fact, they will intentionally walk Barfield now to load the bases and go lefty-lefty with Upshaw. Not that it matters at this point. It's probably long since over, but infield is in. Vandenberg to Upshaw. 5-3 to a lefty is a ground ball first base C with the infield in. So let's see, check our super advanced chart, our super advanced book with the bases loaded. Bases are loaded right here, and the ground ball is a C. It's a number 7. Batter safe, lead runner is out. So it goes 3-2 on the fielder's choice as Tabler throws to Dempsey to force Mosby at the plate. Bell will take third. Barfield will take second, and reaching on the fielder's choice is Upshaw. Now there are 2 outs. Base is still loaded for Ernie Witt. Vandenberg trying to get out of the mess with just 2 runs. 4-8, lefty on lefty is a single to center field, so he can't do it. No, I'm sorry, it's 5-8. 4-8 is a 1-9 single, and it's still going to do it. It's only 1 star, though, so only 1 run will score. It's the 3rd run of the inning. Vandenberg is fatigued, but they're going to try to get him through the inning as he's going to face Fred McGriff. But young Fred McGriff's going to be called back, and they're going to go to a veteran off the bench against the lefty Vandenberg. And they're going with this guy, big old Cecil Fielder. Cecil Fielder will pinch hit for McGriff just for the heck of it, just to get him in at bat. So Cecil Fielder is up with the bases loaded and 2 outs against Vandenberg. 3-7 for Fielder, and that's a walk. 3-6 would have been a grand slam. 3-7 is going to walk in a run, and that's going to be it for Vandenberg. They can't go any further with him. He's going to have to come out. Another run is in as Barfield will score. Upshaw goes to third, and Witt takes second. Sharperson, who led off the inning with a double, is back at the plate again, but Vandenberg won't be around to face him. They will go to the bullpen. They really don't want to do it, but they feel like, I mean, they kind of have to just to get out of the game and not ruin Vandenberg's reputation or whatever. So they are going to go with a computer-generated card, Ernie Macho Camacho former closer of the Indians, but it didn't pitch very much. He had a 9.22 ERA. If you bring him in any game, this is the kind of game you want to do it when it's a blowout. So Ernie Camacho is going to come in and pitch to Sharperson. Like I said, his second at bat of the inning. He doubled to start this whole mess off. So Camacho, 2, but he has no ball. Well, we got to check to see if it's pass ball. Nope, it's a balk rating. He has a 0 balk, so no balk. Camacho to Sharperson. It's a 4-7, and that's a ground ball back to the pitcher. And that's going to finally end the inning, mercifully. So Camacho is going to go 1/3 of an inning and not give up anything. Vandenberg is going to go 2/3 of an inning. And he's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And 1, 2, 3 runs, all earned. Walked 2, 1 intentionally. And didn't strike anybody out. So for the Blue Jays, they put a 4 spot up in the 8th, and it is now a 10-3 ball game. 10-3 ball game, and the Blue Jays will bring on somebody to just mop up here in the 9th. Obviously not going to use one of your better pitchers when you have a 7-run lead. So they will go to their bullpen and do a deep dive, I guess you want to call it, and they'll bring in Jose Nunez. 5-2 with a 5.01 ERA. Jose Nunez to mop up a 10-3 ball game, facing Carter, Thornton, and Jacoby. I was hoping for a closer opening day game, but it's just how it goes. Now Toronto won the real game 7-3. They're winning this game 10-3, so we're not overly too far off. So Carter, who was 0 for 3 with a walk, looking for his first hit of 1987 against Nunez. 1-3, and he gets it with a solid home run right there. 1-3. Joe Carter goes deep. It's a 10-4 good buddy game. Home run Joe Carter greets Nunez with a dinger. Thornton will leave, and they're going to bring in Carmen Castillo to pinch hit because they're tired of looking at Andre Thornton. So Carmen Castillo will get the call, right-handed hitter, to hit in the game. He is a .250 hitter, Carmen Castillo, for Thornton. That leaves Otis Nixon, the only bench player remaining. Not that it matters this late in the game. So Castillo will pinch hit, see what he can do against Nunez. 10-4 ball game, top of the 9th. 6-5, and that's a 1-19 double. That's a 2, so it will be a double by Castillo. So Nunez having his issues. He's got a long leash, though. It's 10-4, so they'll let him see if he can work issues out. Here's Jacoby. Nunez, 2-6 to Jacoby. That is a single to center field. And being down as far as they are, they will hold Castillo at third base. But 3 base hits in a row off of Nunez. And he's having some problems. Here's Pat Tabler. Infield back, they just need an out. Nunez, 5-8, and they get a strikeout. Big strikeout there. 1 away for Corey Snyder. Nunez to Snyder. 112 to Snyder. It's a fly ball center field A. That will score the run. A's always advance. So it's a sacrifice fly to center field. Scoring is Castillo. Moving to second is Jacoby. And it's now a 10-5 ball game, with 2 outs, and now Rick Dempsey gets his first at bat since taking over for Chris Bando, who got pinch hit for. So runner at second, 2 outs, 10-5 ball game. Nunez to Dempsey. 4-9, struck him out, and there's your ball game. Ball game is finally over. In the 9th, They pick up 2 runs. They do it on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. So the final score from Toronto, it is the Blue Jays 10 and the Cleveland Indians 5. They won the real game 7-3. Nunez goes 1 inning, gives up 2 runs, both earned, 3 hits, does strike out 2 without walking anybody. Jimmy Key gets the win. He's 1-0. Tom Candiotti takes the loss. He is 0-1. If you want to pick a player of the game, I'm giving it to George Taco Bell. George Taco Bell was a triple shy of the cycle, 3 for 5, home run, double, and a single. And his 2-run homer in the first inning set the tone for everything. And let's do our hits and errors and all that good stuff to finish out the tallies. Usually if I'm playing this, I'll have the computer up to give me all this, but since now I'm doing it manually with no computer, I got to do it manually. So let's do it manually. Hits for the Cleveland Indians, I got him 13 hits, 5 runs, 13 hits. There was an error on Jacoby, so I believe that's the only error they had. So 5, 13, and 1 for Cleveland. For Toronto, they did not have an error. They have 10 runs, and they do it on 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 hits I've got them for, and no errors. So final line score 10, 14, and 0 for the Blue Jays, 5, 13, and 1 for the Cleveland Indians. Toronto, of course, goes to 1-0 to start the season. Cleveland, looking for a long season probably in their future, they go to 0-1. The next video on the channel will be pre-recorded, as all the rest of the opening day games will be pre-recorded. And I'll just upload them piecemeal. But the next video will be Game 2 of the 1987 season, and it will come from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. It will be the Texas Rangers of Bobby Valentine against the Baltimore Orioles of Cal Ripken Sr. So that'll be the next game in the 1987 replay. I need to put this game in the computer so I can keep all the stats and get everything going. And then when I record this game, I'll be putting it into the computer as I play it. So hopefully that will come out a little bit clearer on the video, because when I record, I get better video quality, and I just seem to like that better. I'm really not a live stream person. I'm much more of a recording and upload person. Kind of out of my comfort zone when I do live streams, because too much things go wrong. RJL is the king of live streams, so let him do his live streams. I'd rather do my recordings and uploads, which is what I will do going forward for the rest of opening day. But that's going to do it from here. Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Cleveland Indians on opening day 10-5. Start of game 1 of, 1,000 or whatever it is. I don't know what the total is to play every American League game. I'm not sure what the total game number is, but it's a lot. But we're starting on on Labor Day 2024, September the 2nd, and we'll finish who knows when, if we ever do. But the goal is to finish. So we shall see, but there's no time frame on it. Tabby has settled down again, which is good. So no more delays. And hope you all have a safe remainder of your Labor Day. For many of us, it's back to work tomorrow after a 3-day weekend, which is nice and refreshing. Hopefully now that we're into September, the hot weather has cooled down in a lot of locations, and you can get out and enjoy the outdoors a little bit more. So let's go do it from here. Until next time. And don't forget tonight to check out RJL on his channel for Inside Pitch, 1969 Pennant Chase, roughly 7:30 Eastern. It'll be the Dodgers and the Reds from Crosley Field. Don Sutton against Jim Maloney. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.